everybody. Hello. Hello. Welcome to a new episode of the Frank Ireland live stream. I'm your host, Frank Ireland, and today we're going to be talking about my top favorite 2023 films, because I haven't talked about them yet. I do have a list on Letterboxd, so if you've seen it, you probably have a good idea of what they are. But before I get to that, I do want to talk about some other movies. Just seen Argyle this couple days ago. Oh my gosh, we have Full Metal here. Full Metal Becky. There she is. Isn't she amazing? Hello, Becky. Hello. I've been watching her live stream. So anyway, I just seen Argyle. I loved it. I know there's people who don't like it. I kind of understand. It's a little overlong. It's a little over the top. But I don't give a damn. It's everything I love about movies. Or it's everything I liked. It had, there's Becky. Hello, Becky. Hello. Hello, Becky. So anyway, Argyle had like all my favorite things. It had a little pinch of Night and Day. If you don't, guys, who don't remember that movie, it was Tom Cruise and Charlize Theron, came out in 2010. And then it had elements of Long Kiss Goodnight with Gina Davis and Samuel Jackson. It had pieces of that. And then it also had what I like to call Bryan Cranston clickbait, where like the movie will be advertised with Bryan Cranston in it, and like he'll hardly be in it, or he'll be like a side character, but they advertise him fully that he's in it. And it was Bryan Cranston clickbait. I was like, yes, it's in here. And then the other thing, oh yeah, it's a Kingsman, of course. And the other movie, Kingsman Golden Circle. I think I realized after seeing Argyle, it's like, I'm down for any Matthew Vaughn movie. He had a little rough, cheesy start with the X-Men movie. I thought that was okay. Not great, but okay. But like Kingsman, I love that. Golden Circle, loved even more. The first Kingsman, or whatever the hell it's called, Kingsman, loved that. And I love this, even though it's over the top and ridiculous, but I love it. It had a cat. It had Sam Rockwell. It had curvy Bryce Dallas Howard, who's doing like all the things. It's like, oh my god, I wish she looked like this in Jurassic World, because in Jurassic World they make her look skinny and doing all the stunts. But in this one, it's like a real woman doing stunts. It's kind of weird. It's like, oh my god, it's like an actual size, like real life woman. It's not like a supermodel babe. It's life size, real size Bryce Dallas Howard doing the thing. I was like, yeah, that's kind of neat. That's kind of cool. And then the mystery, of course, is given to you right in the first 5 minutes of the movie. It's almost like the movie Thanksgiving, where it gives you who the killer is in the first frame of the movie. It tells you who Agent Argyle is with like a little scene transition, and I'm like, oh, there you go. That's your answer. I know there's like it's a little bit of spoilers, but who cares? Who cares? It's one of those movies, and I love it. Also like John Cena and Henry Cavill. That could have been its own movie. That was hilarious. And then another movie I just watched recently was a gift from my friend Stuart. Stuart, for my birthday, gave me this movie called The Best of Times, starring Robin Williams and Kurt Russell. Let me quickly Google that. The movie came out in the early 80s. It was about a guy named, I think it's Jack. But anyway, Robin Williams is like a little nerdy guy. He lives from this like little, this little town. And he wants to win this football game because when he was a kid in high school, they lost this football game by like a couple points, and he didn't catch the ball, and they lost, and it kind of left a whole lasting impact on the town. And in the movie, he actually goes to see a masseuse to pay her just to complain. He's not even cheating on his wife. He just goes there to complain, and she's like, "Why don't you just play the game over, redo history?" And he's like, "Hey, that's not a bad idea." So he tries to convince the town, and the town's like, nah, no, we're losers enough. We don't want to do this. We've lost hard before. We lose 0 every time. We can't do this. 1986. God damn, 1980. Wow, that's weird. It's a 1986 movie? Okay, I'll get back to that later. But anyway, so he has a hard time convincing his home team, but the opposing team that they lost to are hands down into it. They're like, yes, let's play this football game. And it's funny because most of the other team are like professional players, and the town is like all washed up drunks or businesses. And he's really trying to convince the town, and they won't do it. So he puts his matters in his own hands. Robin Williams dresses as the opposing team's mascot and paints up the town and wrecks up the lodge, the bar. And he's like, oh my God, look what they did. No, we must retaliate. And then Kurt Russell's like, yeah, we're going to retaliate. We're going to go against the other team. We're going to train. So they train, and they set up the football game, and they're playing the football game. They do awful. It's like 0-25 in the first part of the game. And halftime comes along. All the teams are like, the team's like, all right, we're losing. Let's go have a drink. So it's only Kurt Russell and Robin Williams. Robin Williams, he knows what he needs to do. So he grabs his bag from his car. He brings it in the locker room, takes out the flask from the bag and says, come on, have a drink, have a drink. And then he puts the flask back in the bag. He says, just have a drink. I'm going to go, use the restroom. So as he goes to use the restroom, Kurt Russell is going to grab the flask, but then he sees the uniform that Robin Williams wore earlier in the movie, and he's like, you son of a bitch. You're the one who started all this. What the hell? So he, bullies Robin Williams. He hangs him on a little hook, tells him, you're nothing or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then Robin Williams is like, yep, just what I thought. You aren't a leader anymore. Here I thought you were still a leader. You're not a leader. And Kurt Russell's like, you're not playing in the second half. I can't have this town lose another game. We're going to win. So he goes out there, and before he goes out there, Kurt Russell puts on his white shoes, and they're like, oh my God, Kurt Russell's got his shoes, because they make a big deal about it. When Kurt Russell was the famous football player in high school, he always wore the nice white shoes during football. So he puts on his white shoes, and they're like, oh shit. So they start winning, and it gets to, I think the other team has 26, and they have 25. And Robin Williams keeps getting tackled. And he says, and they're like, don't put Robin Williams in there. He's going to fuck it up. He's going to lose the team. He's going to lose it. And, Kurt Russell's like, oh, God. And then Robin Williams is like, please, I'm going to do it. I got to move. So, cut back to, the first 20 minutes of the movie. Robin Williams does this little dance when he's with his wife. He'll do, this little Motown, he takes off his jacket and then he does, a little twist around. Oops. Anyway, he does a little twist around. That was accidental. He does a little twist like that, and then, he gets in the mood with his wife. So at the end of the movie, they're looking down on the other team, and then he does his little twist, and the guy goes right in the mud. He goes running. Kurt Russell's got no one to throw it to. Even the guy who said, throw it to me, don't throw it to Robin. He's got no one else. He throws the football. Robin's got the ball. He's bouncing into his hand. They're like, oh my God, oh no, it's going to repeat history. He grabs the ball and gets a touchdown. The home team wins. It's beautiful. And what's really sweet is that the movie opened up with Robin Williams doing a narration saying oh, this town has been losing for generation to generation. One of our history's greatest was even the worst, where he was Billy the Kid or whatever. Billy the Kid was a great boxer, and he lost in 5 rounds exactly when he said he was going to make the other guy lose. So at the end of this movie, there's an old man who's been walking around, and he turns around and he puts his fist in the air, and you see that it was the Kid Malone or whatever the boxer guy was. I was like, oh, that's awesome. He went back to his hometown to make sure that they won, to support his home team. And it was great. It was a great little movie. And I'm surprised it's from 1986, because this would mean it was a Thing reunion. Donald Moffat, the guy who plays the sheriff guy in the Thing, who was he was my friend. And he's the one who says, I don't want to spend the entire winter tied to this chair. That guy's in it with Kurt Russell. And I thought this was early 80s, because there's moments when Kurt Russell is talking, and it sounds exactly like Copper from Todd and Copper from Fox and the Hound. So I thought, oh shit, this got to be right in that time. No, it's a whole 6-7 years later, because that movie came out 1980, 1981. So him still having that Copper voice is oh man, that's amazing. But 1986, I'm kind of surprised by that. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Any comments? No comments. Wow. Okay. Okay, man. I see how it is, man. All right. So, let's get to the top 2023 movies of last year. I'm going to start with the bottom of the list. I'll start with the bottom 25. Well, I'll start with the bottom 5. Because last year I saw a total of 36 movies in the theater, as Alan Dennis would call it, at the theater. 36. It's kind of down. Usually I see 60 or 50 movies, but it's 36. That's kind of quite a bit. But at number 36, bottom of the list for me, is Flowers of the Killer Moon or whatever, Killers of the Flower Moon. And the reason why it's on the bottom of the list is because there's no reason ever on heaven and earth do I need to rewatch that movie again. Yes, it's well made. Yes, it's an important story to tell. But goddamn, I'll never have to watch that movie again. I know. It's frustrating to know that really happened. And it's frustrating to know that it wasn't that long ago. The lead character, whatever his name is, the Leo DiCaprio character, in real life only died in like 1986 or 1985. So that tells me it's in with this lifetime that this happened, and it's frustrating, it's sickening, well made, but no, never have to rewatch it. I don't get how that's like in the top 5 people movies. It's like, to me, I like movies if you can rewatch them over and over, or there's like some sort of entertainment value or something like that. But like, I don't understand how people got entertainment value or would want to watch people being misused like that ever again. But yeah, that's number 36 on my list. No, it's just frustrating. 35 on the list is The Inside. It's the Willem Dafoe movie where he gets locked into this room, and it's like him for 90 minutes slowly going insane. Again, great performance by Willem Dafoe, but like, never again do I have to watch that movie. I got the point. It was a great performance, but like, I can't. It's sad watching somebody lose their mind, especially in that kind of environment. It's almost like punishment. It's almost like a purgatory, what he has to go through. You know, when he's stuck inside that apartment with nothing to eat or nothing to drink. It's really, oh man, it's crazy. So that's number 35 on the bottom of my list. Let's see. Number 34 is Plane. Plane was very simple. It was very simple, and it was kind of shocking how simple it was. It is so stripped down to the bone of plot and character that I don't even remember much that happened. It was very simple. It was like, there's a storm, there's a plane, it lands in like a bad jungle, and they gotta restart the plane because I think it got struck by lightning, so they gotta find like some parts or whatever to get it back up. And it's so bare bones. There's hardly any characterization. I think my favorite part of that movie is that at the end, when they're taking the plane off the ground, the bad guy that's been the bad guy the entire time is trying to stop this plane from taking off, and that front wheel is like barely getting off the ground, and as it's getting off the ground, it perfectly hits his truck and like makes him explode on impact because they're going so fast, and it takes out the bad guy. Wonderful. Other than that, it's very plain, bare bones movie. Like you think they'd throw in some like character actors. I think there is some character actors, but like they don't stand out enough. Like, it needed to be like something like Con Air, but it's not really, because Con Air is full of like cartoon, like caricatures, character actors. You got like everybody in Hollywood at that time who was big, and then Plane, it's like you don't got that much going on the ground, and like they don't. I don't know. I wish they got some character actors to really make those characters stand out and make it a little bit fun, but it's so dry and direct. But it's a good 90 minutes. It's a good 90 minutes. Okay. We're on to number 4 of my bottom 5. Mafia Mama. I thought this was going to be like one of the analyze this kind of level thing, but it wasn't. It was sort of on the level of like, oh yeah, I'll watch this once. It's entertaining. I had fun. I laughed, but I don't think I'd ever watch it again. But yeah, it was fun. It had laughs. There's some great funny moments in it, but it's like, it's fine. But yeah, Mafia Mama. And then last of the bottom 5, 32 on the list, is Fast X. And I think it's just because it's so over the top and stupid. And whenever Brie Larson wasn't on screen, I was like, where's Brie Larson? So those are the bottom 5, 32 through 36, where it's like, never have to watch them again, but I at least had fun in the theater. Okay. So, I'm going to be honest. When I do the list, I usually cut it off at the end of the year. So if I didn't watch it within that year, it's cut off. So I'm going to say it now. Holdovers, I did not include in this top 2023 list, even though it's on the thumbnail. But I will give an honorable shout out because I seen that in January of this year, even though it came out last year. I don't know. It doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem fair. Maybe people out there would, but like I don't know. So, if I could, I would probably put it on this list. Fuck it, we're gonna put it on the list. Sorry, Mario Brothers, you're number 10. We're gonna replace you with the Holdovers at number 10. I'm sorry, Mario Brothers. We're just gonna do it. Because I know people are going to say, no, Holdovers came out in 2023. What are you talking about? So, to be fair to the viewers, because I know you guys are going to be watching this at some point, hopefully. I don't know. But yeah, at number 10, I'm going to put Holdovers. Sorry, Mario Brothers. So at number 10, Holdovers. Holdovers was a wonderful movie. Wonderful movie. Great performances. And it's tough. I know there's like other nominations for Best Actor, but like the main two are Cillian Murphy, I think his name is Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, and Paul Giamatti for Holdovers, and they're both valid as performances. For Cillian, he disappears, he becomes Oppenheimer. That's like a once in a lifetime performance where it's like, oh my god, the man disappears, he becomes Oppenheimer. It's so well done, fantastic. Like, you don't know Cillian Murphy, you see Oppenheimer. And on the other hand, you have a character actor who's in top form in a role that was written for him, and it covers all his strengths as an actor, and probably one of his best of his career, or ever in his career. And it's so great. Paul Giamatti is so fantastic in the Holdovers, and it's sad that they both have to go against each other because they're both great for different reasons. One is like disappearing into a role and, you know, becoming the character, and the other one is doing like almost like the best of his career. And it's showcasing all his talents and whatnot. So there are two really great performances. And even I'm not sure who's going to win, because it could be an upset. It could be an upset where Paul Giamatti wins. And I honestly wouldn't be upset with it, but it's just because it's such a good performance. For those who don't know, I'm sure if you're watching, you already know what the Holdovers is about. It's about this boarding school, and one of the teachers doesn't want to do the winter break babysitting job, so he gets out of it saying, oh yeah, my mother's sick or something. So they have to get it to Paul Giamatti, and Paul Giamatti's like one of the worst people ever. He's not a bad teacher, he's a very stubborn teacher, because the times are changing, because the guy who is in charge of the school is like, you know, why don't you just pass those kids, because their fathers are the ones who are paying for the school. And Paul Giamatti's like, no, we're Barton. We're here to, you know, pass the best and the brightest. We're supposed to, you know, encourage an education. We're not just supposed to give them an easy pass. We can't do this. So throughout the movie, he gets stuck with these kids, and then it gets down to one kid. And through this journey of Christmas vacation, which is only like a couple days, maybe like 3 weeks or 20 days, something like that, they change each other. It's like a lunch monitor who's going through the loss of her son, who was killed during Vietnam. You got Paul Giamatti dealing with his own things. Like that's almost like the times are changing around him, and he's still sort of like trying to outrun the past, and you know, he's in a place that, you know, he means something, but it's kind of slipping away. And the boy he has to watch over is right at that turning point. Like at this moment of his life, he could take a path that will probably lead to his destruction, or if he is supported well enough by someone who believes in him, he will succeed where Paul Giamatti could not. And it's a very good movie. I'm kind of getting emotional just kind of talking about it, but it's a very good movie. And I can understand why it's like head to head with Oppenheimer, because like Oppenheimer is like a great docudrama period piece kind of, you know, like biopic. And then you got Holdovers, which is like a good like Christmas movie, and it's a good character study of all these actors, especially the kid. I can't believe that's his first movie. It's such a wonderful performance. Oh fuck. But like they're both really great movies. And yeah, I liked Holdovers. So that's number 10 on my list. I'll update the list afterwards. Sorry, Mario Brothers. You're out of the 10. So number 9, we have Saw 10. Saw 10 was incredible because they actually put a twist on it. It's actually a prequel. This is technically Saw 2. And not only is it sort of a prequel, they also shift focused. It's no longer focusing on the victims or the game players. It is focusing on John Kramer, Jigsaw himself, and I think that's probably one of the smartest things they've ever done in the series. I think I've seen the first three, a sprinkle of some of the sequels, but I know I gotta watch them at some point. But like, I think this is like one of the best ones, and like they think even fans who've seen all the movies are like, no, this Saw 10 is like the best one. And it's, you know what sucks is that I know it's a horror movie, and everyone's like, oh, it's just a horror movie, but like the guy who plays him, Tobin Bell. Honestly, if the Oscars really gave respect to all performances, I think Tobin Bell as Jigsaw in Saw 10 would have been Oscar worthy. I shit you not, because there's some moments where Tobin Bell is just like acting his ass off in this movie, and he's really bringing life to one of the best horror characters ever created. There's like one gif where he's like looking up. It looks like a goddamn Renaissance painting, where he's just like, you can see all the emotions of John Kramer in his face, and it's just like he's really bringing home this character that everyone has loved for the past 20 years, which I can't believe I'm actually saying this. That movie came out over 20 years ago, and it's just like, holy fuck, the Saw series. But like, yeah, he really brought life to the character, and you get to see like his motivations and sort of his hypocrisy, like in his daydream in the movie. Like, one of my favorite parts of Saw 10 is like he sees this guy at the hospital like trying to steal a watch, and he has this whole fantasy where he puts this guy in a saw trap, and in his fantasy the guy loses the saw trap, but in real life the guy looks at him and puts the watch away, and he says, good choice. And it's so well done. It's like, it's a great movie. I love Saw 10, and it's like one of those movies where like they set everything up in the first 10 minutes and it all pays off. Oh my gosh. They're going to make a new, I think this is going to be like a new trilogy, Saw 10, 11, and 12. So Saw 11's coming out later this year, and it's just like, wow, like I can't wait, because like Saw 10 was really, really good. And Saw 10 made me realize there's people out there who are like, Saw 10 isn't scary, and it's like, what do you mean scary? Like, so whenever someone says, is a movie scary, it's like, I can't answer that question anymore, because like, I don't go to see Saw to be scared. I go there to be entertained. It's almost like a dark thriller, and it's like, it's not scary. It's not like jump scares. It's not Conjuring. It's not like a giant cartoon nun coming after you. It's, you know, you get to see people try to win the trap, and like you try to figure out the twist. Man, I forgot that. Okay, so before I move on, I forgot that feeling until it happened in Saw 10. But when that, you know, that da-da-dun, da-da-dun, Hello Zep comes on, I got so many goosebumps and chills all over my body, because I was like, oh my god, I completely forgot how cool that is. Because in all the Saw movies, there's that twist at the end, and that da-da-dun, da-da-dun, da-da-dun clicks in, and it's like, that's so great. So that happened in Saw 10. But yeah, I love Saw 10. It's one of the best Saw movies. And moving on. Make sure there's no comments. I don't think there are any comments. Oh, cripe, we got comments. Do you have a spreadsheet? I'm going off my Letterboxd. So for those who don't know, there's a website called Letterboxd, and there's a whole list of movies. So I'm going off my list of movies on my Letterboxd. Let's see. Nice Crown King. Yes, thank you. Captain Iron Dog. Where's Brie Larson? Is she safe? Is she all right? That's exactly what I'm saying whenever Brie Larson is not on screen in Fast X. Like, where is she? Is she okay? Is she safe? Is she all right? Yes, Shane Ford. This is a brand new shirt. I wanted to wear it a couple weeks ago, but like I made a promise to wear the Graboid shirt that Whitney got me. But yeah, this is a brand new shirt. Season of the Witch. I think it's so badass. It was made by Ruck and Rotten, by an artist. I think the artist has his symbol here, but the artist designed his T-shirt. I was like, oh fuck! It's like one of those ones, like, if you know, you know. And I love this. It's so awesome. Yep, I love Halloween 3, but I don't. Someone was saying that, like, I think it was on Twitter, like, what do you think of Halloween 3? And I'm like, I don't consider it part of the series anymore. It's almost like a side quiller or spin-off. It's like I can't rank that with Michael Myers anymore, because like Michael Myers has so many movies, and Season of the Witch is such like an offshoot. It's almost like I compared it to Frasier. Like, Cheers is Michael Myers, But like Season of the Witch is completely Frasier. It's like completely different than Cheers. It's its own thing. Like you don't even you forget that it's like a spin-off. So yeah, I love Season of the Witch, Halloween 3. But yeah, I don't include it in the series anymore. So moving on. Number 8 on my list is Barbie. I know everyone's probably saying, "Oh my god, it's so low on your list, number 8. What the hell?" But yeah, like the top. Oh my god, my top favorite movies are great. But yeah, Barbie's still good. I think I've seen Barbie 3 times. Saw it with my mom, saw it with Whitney, and then I saw it by myself just recently. And it still holds up. It still gets me emotional. It still makes me laugh. I'm shocked. I'm shocked as everybody. And yeah, I like Barbie. I did a whole review on Barbie, so that's why I'm like, what am I going to talk about this time? But still, like, it still gets me how close it was to my idea that I had, 13 years ago or whatever at this point, 14 years ago. So for those who don't know, I'll kind of do a speed run on this, but for those who don't know, I love the movie Last Action Hero. And I always thought, like, what would be a cool way to reboot that, but, like, sort of in a fun way. And how would it work with the real life? Because, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger worked for the 90s, but, like, who is famous enough for that to work again? Like, you can't just pick, like, any actor. You can't pick Chris Evans. Chris Evans is nowhere famous as an Arnold Schwarzenegger or anything like that. So I was like, who could that work for? So when I made my fan trailer, I picked Tom Cruise, because Tom Cruise is genuinely one of the last movie stars on the planet. And my idea was that a writer gets really emotionally, creatively involved with writing this franchise that she created with her husband, and the husband recently passed away. And she wrote the latest script without him. It was like the first script without him. Meanwhile, like, that's the real life. That's the real world. So in the movie world, the character becomes self-aware. Like, he has memories. Like, this character's like, oh my god, like, I was flying jets, I was doing all this. Hang on. Make sure that's not a message for me. Nope, that's not a message for me. Okay. But yeah, the movie, like, the character's becoming self-aware, and he's having visions of, he thinks they're dreams or visions, but meanwhile, there are other movies he's been in. He's having visions of Top Gun. He's having visions of Last Samurai, Far and Away, Oblivion, things like that. And he's like, oh my god, what's going on? I'm losing my mind. So he goes to see his friend in the movie, and like he gets like anonymous phone calls, like, they're seeing you. You got to get back on your storyline. He's like, what are you talking about? So he goes to see his friend in the movie, and it turns out the friend in the movie is played by Steve Buscemi, and Steve Buscemi is a self-aware character. He knows the whole thing. He's like, I've been living this over and over. This is like Groundhog Day for me, and the sad thing is you never remember. You're not real. Everything around us is fake. So somehow, the Tom Cruise character is able to become so self-aware he leaves the movie screen, and he wants to live a real life, and it causes a big giant snafu in Hollywood. They try to put him back in the movie, but he not only does he have visions of the movies he's been in, he's also keeps seeing this woman, and it turns out the woman is the writer, and he falls in love with her. And the thing is that in the latest movie she wrote was like, she was like, writing her husband into the character, and so that's reason why, it got mixed up. Like the real world and the fictional world got mixed up is because her love for her husband brought him back through the Tom Cruise character. And what's sad about my fan trailer is like, I don't want to live a fake life anymore. I want to live a real life. And that was like the whole thing, real life. And that was like behind the scenes. That's what I was going by in the movie, because once they get him back in the movie, he starts movie jumping. Like the character jumps from like Minority Report and all that, and they're trying to hold him back. Like, no, you can't. You got to stay in your movie. But he's trying to find the girl because he keeps jumping from movie to movie to get close to her, and he has to jump from a Tom Cruise movie. So that would have been the gag. So when I went to see Barbie, it was shocking to see how similar it was, because it's about the girl who plays with the Barbie, and her ideas get intertwined with the Barbie, and it brings her to the real world because she's got to fix it. And then instead of Hollywood trying to put the character back into the movie, it's Mattel trying to put the doll back in the box. And she meets the creator just like how I wanted. I wanted the creator to be, Jennifer Connelly, where he's like, oh my god, that's you wrote me. And he's upset at her, but he also loves her because, they're close, you know, but he hates her because he went through so much in that franchise by losing so much, you know, but like he still loved her. And seeing this in the Barbie movie where it's like, oh shit, like she gets to meet the creator and she tells the creator like, I don't want to live a dream world anymore, I want to live a real life. And I was like, oh shit. And that whole scene is so incredible, like, you know, everything goes away and it's just her and the creator in this empty void, and then she sees like the memories. And that's sort of how I wanted it. I wanted the character Tom Cruise to have like memories of not only of himself, but like of the husband that she was writing about in the script. And make sure that was not for me. Nope, that's not for me. But yeah, it was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what happened in the movie Barbie. And I was like, that's incredible. So like, I don't feel bad anymore. I'm like, because I remember I told this to some people and people were like, oh, you wanted, you wish that was you, or you're too late. It's like, nah, I'm happy that somebody made the story. I'm happy to see it exist because it's been up here for so long. And it's like, I'm just like a normal guy. No way that script idea would have ever gone anywhere. But like, I can't believe it became Barbie of all things. That's incredible. But yeah, that's why I connected to Barbie with so much. It's just because like, oh shit, it's like an idea I had finally become reality. And that's so fun. And it's like, oh great, it's great. But yeah, that's just my connection with Barbie. But yeah, I still like Barbie. It's still great. Okay, going to number 7. Hang on, let's read the comments first. Read the comments. No new comments? Okay. Moving along. Number 7 on my list. It's a Wonderful Knife. There's 2 things I love, is horror movies and Christmas movies. Now this one, I'll admit, it felt cheap, but apparently it was done cheap on purpose. But it didn't matter to me because it felt like, I don't know, it just felt like a Hallmark movie, and it turns out, like, that's what they were aiming for. But like, I remember watching the movie, I'm like, there's hardly any extras. And there's hardly any, extravagant, things or kills or anything like that, because like the script is sort of, easy. But like, it's the story of like, every life matters, where like you think you don't matter, but then you find out like, oh geez, it's because of me more people lived and I affect the entire town. And it's basically a Wonderful Life meets a slasher film. There's some like weird shit that happens in the 3rd act where like apparently the whole town's under a trance. I don't understand that. It's almost on the Rocky and Bullwinkle movie, like trance, they're all watching really bad TV or whatever, and it's like that doesn't quite make sense. But like, I had a lot of fun with it, and there's like because the reason why I had fun with it is because it's an unexpected romance. The main character falls in love with this little nerdy girl, and you want to see them succeed. You want to see them live a wonderful life. And because that girl was going to kill herself until the other one saw her and noticed her for who she was, and knew that she was she was kind. And it's, I don't know, it's that love story within a Christmas thing with a slasher thing. It's a great mix of everything. It's like the perfect concoction. Everything I like inside It's a Wonderful Knife. Like, you got like the slasher killer, you got a little bit of comedy, you got a little bit of romance, you got a little bit of life matters, don't take your life, and it's just so great. And at the end, I like the little twist where the little nerdy girl remembers who she is, and then they still can have love. It's almost like the Groundhog Day thing, where it's like, oh good, they remember the adventure they just had. It's meant to be. It's love. It's like, oh, that's great. And it's like, I wanted to see those characters, have like a normal life together, romance. And it's so great. So, yeah, I love It's a Wonderful Knife. Let's see. The love story is definitely the strongest part of Wonderful Knife. Oh yeah, for sure. I think that's the reason why I really like It's a Wonderful Knife. It's the love story element between the characters. I forget their names. It's been a while since I've seen it. But yeah, the romance between the characters is really strong, and what really carries the movie along. Because everything, there's like some weak parts. Like the guy from Community, I think his acting's bad, but it's fine. But I think Justin Long is fantastic in the movie. Let's see. Number 6 on the list is Poor Things. Oh my gosh, this was fucking awesome. Again, it's like a thing that I love about movies. It's about a woman like learning self-discovery, and learning about life through fresh eyes, and like learning everything at all at once, you know. And it's special in a way because of like the weird twist in it. So like this pregnant woman is in a you don't know this, but I'm just telling it because you know it's quicker to tell. So this woman is in a terrible controlling relationship. She's pregnant with the child of the man, and she can't bear to have a child with him, so she jumps off the bridge. The woman dies, but the baby's still alive, and Willem Dafoe is this crazy mad Frankenstein sort of scientist, saves her, and like he transports the brain of the baby into the dead mom and reanimates her. So she has like the body of a woman, a full-grown woman, but like a child's mentality, and then she starts aging rapidly, from like a little, you know, like a baby mind, like mama moo boo, to like a teenager, to an adult, because like the brain's like growing and becoming smarter in her head. And it's so wonderful because it's almost like the mother or the daughter becomes the mother in a sort of weird way, and how she's like learning to live life in all these fun different adventures, all these different sexcapades with Mark Ruffalo. And they're on the boat, and she learns about poor the rough parts of life, and knowledge and discovery, not only like of discovery of like, oh my god, what the world's about, but like self-discovery, sexual discovery. It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. It's amazing, and it's all done in this fake Victorian era. There's like flying spaceships, and there's like weird boats and like weird things in this world. It's not quite reality, and I love the costume design. It's like on the level of like Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, where the costumes are so amazing. The set design is amazing. The camera, the cinematography, the acting. Mark Ruffalo being something completely different. Willem Dafoe, you know, of course, always knocking it out of the park, and just like Emma Stone. Like to me, that performance is so awesome. Like it's no competition. She's gonna win the award because what she does with her body when when her character is still in that childlike thing, she like walks differently. And then when the girl is sort of like a teenager, she moves different. Like every point of this character's life moves differently. I remember the interview, Emma Stone. Emma Stone was saying like, oh yeah, I broke it down to 15, but that was way too much, so I had to break it down to 4. And I was just like, oh my god, because in the movie, you know that they shot out of order, so she's not doing it, you know. So she had to remember how to do certain things, so it all lined up. So you know, like everything in that house, like they had to film the beginning, the middle, and the end in this house. So she has to keep that, you know, that acting of like what she's doing, like, you know, consistent. And it's so consistent because the whole movie you see this character grow from like a toddler to a young adult to herself, and becoming the character who she's meant to be. And it's so wonderful. It's such a great performance, and it's just like there's nothing but respect for Emma Stone in this movie, because it's like, oh my, it's emotionally connected to me again, because I've been a day one fan of Emma Roberts. I keep saying Emma Roberts. Oh my god, I've been a day one fan of Emma Stone because when I was in college, there was a screening called Paperman, and it was like, you know, Emma Stone's gonna be there, and I was like, oh my god, Emma Stone. And I tried to convince all my friends, please come go see Emma Stone with me, and they had no idea who she was. I'm like, she's Jules from Superbad, because I love Jules in Superbad. That was Emma Stone. I was like, oh my god, I love her so much. I gotta go meet her. So I met her, took the selfie, and then like later that year it was Zombieland, Easy A. She became the biggest star in the world, and I was like, oh man, I've been there since day one, you know. So to see her in this movie, Poor Things, you know, giving a performance of a lifetime, where she's like, you know, has to do all these different things in the movie, and it's all consistent and it's all coherent, and it's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing, and I can't hardly recommend this enough. I understand there's some people who don't like it. Maybe it's not for them, but it's just like, to me, it's like it has like everything. It's got comedy, it's got like aspects of horror, it's got aspects of sexuality, it's got aspects of everything, drama. Oh my! It's like a perfect mashup of everything in one movie. Universal Horror Monsters meets like, you know, a coming of age teen comedy, you know, sort of like that, you know, and like the costume designs. Oh, it's so perfect. I love Poor Things. It's so cool. So that's my number 6 thing. Going to the comments. Let's see. It's a rare case when you want to see them get together, but you don't think the movie will go. But there it does. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think he's talking about Wonderful Knife. Wonderful Knife. That was Shane Ford. Okay, so number 5 on my list of the top 10 2023 movies is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Oh my god, this movie was so cool. Oh man. Like, okay, because I just rewatched this, I think in December, because I was trying to understand why Luke didn't like it, and I still don't understand. I think he had it built up, like, and it's kind of understandable, where it's like, you have hang on, I gotta get through this. So you have Rogue Nation, and then you got Fallout, and then you got Maverick. So, like, all these movies that are increasingly getting awesome, you're going to probably have high expectations of Dead Reckoning. And I think it just failed on him. It fell face first for him, but for me, it's like, I'm a Tom Cruise fan. I'll see anything he's in. And I don't think I've seen a bad Tom Cruise movie. I think the closest it came to bad is The Mummy, but, like, The Mummy is a mashup of things I like, so I still enjoyed The Mummy. So it's like, because The Mummy is sort of like Life Force meets American Werewolf in London meets The Mummy. So it's like all this weird shit that I like. It's all in one movie. So it's like, I can't even hate The Mummy. So like Dead Reckoning, it's like, I like it. Sure, there's some parts where it's like, yeah, you could have trimmed this, that. It's not the perfect movie. I'm not going to say it's a, perfect movie, but it's still a very good movie. It's a well-made movie. There's some fucking fun shit in this movie. Like for sure, like Tom Cruise was definitely inspired by What's Up Doc. What's Up Doc is like one of my favorite movies of all time. And I'm starting to realize this with all these movies, they're all connected to something I liked before, but they do like a remix on it. So I'm going to say that again. Like in this movie, like clearly the whole chase with the little yellow Fiat or whatever the hell it is, the little yellow punch bug. That is so What's Up Doc. It's not even funny. Like, I'm like, holy shit. Tom Cruise really loves those old, slapstick comedies. Probably a huge fan of Peter Bogdanovich. And just have that in like a big giant blockbuster movie, Tom Cruise. Like the part when the car starts flipping over and they switch seats. That shit is hilarious. And I remember rewatching the movie and I was like, oh shit. Like when they're running around the airport. Like the music sort of like reminded me of like Planet of the Apes, like like the music. I don't know why. I was like, I like that, and I like the Shea Wiggum or whatever his name is, the Shea guy. Everyone knows who Shea is. He's the guy who's after Tom Cruise. But I like his whole thing where he's like grabbing people's faces to see if they're like wearing like face masks, and that usually never happens in the movie. But I like that joke where he's like, "Are you Ethan Hunt? Or are you not?" And then at the end, like, he becomes an Ethan Hunt fan like everyone else does. It's so great. And Pom Klementieff in this movie is so awesome as well. She's awesome. I love Pom. She's like the spy with the makeup. She's so cool. Everyone knows her as Mantis from Guardians. She's great in this movie. And I'm so glad Haley Atwell got out of the MCU prison. Holy shit. Like, they had her for so long, and now she's, like, free, and now I hope they put her in more movies because she's a star. I remember being so, like, breathtaking. My breath was taken away seeing her on the big screen. I think I even, like, leaned forward just to look at her. Because, like, that part when they meet at the airport, she's so beautiful. She's so fantastic. Such an on-screen presence. And it's like, I've been wanting this for a long time to see her on screen as, like, a leading lady. And it's so fun where she learns to have trust in Ethan Hunt. Because the fans, like Ethan Hunt is probably like one of the best movie characters of all time, and it's so fun to see somebody who has a problem trusting people, trusting one of the most trustful persons of all time. Like the thing on the train when he's trying to tell her, like, trust me, you're gonna jump and you're gonna make it, but you have to jump when I tell you to jump, and it's so great. And like like Alec Baldwin said in the previous movies, like, he's the manifestation of destiny. Because like everyone wants to be Ethan Hunt. Like, to me, it's like, I want to be Ethan Hunt, but like I know I'm the oh god, what's his name? I'm the Simon Pegg character, where it's like, I love my friends. Like, I'm his Benji. I'm Benji character, and I'm like, I love my friends. But like, oh my god, like every character, all these entries, it's just like, even if it's like a mid or just good movie, I still enjoy the hell out of these Mission Impossible movies. But yeah, they're entertaining. They're guaranteed entertainment. It's like, I'm going to the movies. I'm going to see Tom Cruise put all his fucking effort into this movie, and I know they tried to throw him under the bus with this movie, like it cost $300 million, but like he was like the only one in Hollywood who was like trying to keep it afloat. He was like, because it was like during COVID, where everyone couldn't do movies, but he was like the first one to go through the wall and be like, no, we're gonna still make movies. I'm gonna keep everyone employed. Everyone's gonna get money. Everyone's gonna get paid. We're gonna do this together, and we're gonna keep going. Because I can't have my, the caterer or the set designer or the PA or the, the little person with the little clipboard. He can't have them go unemployed. He wanted to make sure that they were getting paid during the pandemic, and it just, there's so much work that went into Dead Reckoning, and I appreciate it all. And it's like, I love it. I love Dead Reckoning. I don't give a shit what Luke says. I know he says, whatever. But it's like, nah, Dead Reckoning has rights, and I'm going to give them its rights. So it's number 5 on my list. Let's go to the comments, see if I missed anything. The new Dark Universe, oh lord. I'm actually excited about the new Dark Universe. So Universal Studios is making a new land, and for once in my life, I actually want to go to Universal Studios because I want to see this Dark Universe shit. I like the idea of it, where they're trying to make a land of all the Universal monsters. Hulk, I was going to say Hulk, Frankenstein's monster, Dracula, Wolfman, probably Creature from the Black Lagoon at some point. But yeah, I'm excited about that. That'd be fucking awesome. Haley Atwell has the sauce for sure. She's a leading goddamn lady. She's amazing, and I'm glad that she's finally got her spotlight. Because she's always been fucking locked in those MCU movies. Like, you want to see Peggy Carter, but they always, they don't do it well. But, Mission Impossible, they did a goddamn good job of it. Couldn't agree more on Haley's first appearance in the movie. Like, my favorite, honestly, that, like, that meme of the guy, like, leaning forward? That was me when she got on screen. I was like, oh my god, look at her. Like, her eyes in that scene are just so beautiful, and the way she looks, and she's got, like, those lips and the hair, and she's got that jacket outfit, and she's, like, being seductive with Tom Cruise, and he's like doing his hand magic that he hasn't done since the first movie. I was like, oh fuck, this movie's going on all cylinders, and I like it. It's so cool. God damn. Dead Reckoning. Yes. Yeah, I like that movie. So number four is Thanksgiving. I just bought the Blu-ray just yesterday, and it was funny because, again, the question came up: is Thanksgiving scary? And both me and my mom were just like, no, Thanksgiving is awesome. Like, I watched the movie, it's awesome. And then the worker looked at the Blu-ray and says, oh, it is scary. I was like, it's awesome. Because, again, I don't think you're really going to get scared with Thanksgiving. It's just a really good tribute to, like, early 2000s slashers. Like the Scream era slashers. Sorority Row, like the remake in 2009, like that era of slasher films, like Urban Legend or some shit. It's I think it's been mentioned before, but I'll say it again here just for those who don't know. But like how they approach it. So like, when they made the fake trailer Thanksgiving for Grindhouse in 2007, assume that was the original version. Assume that was the 1980 Thanksgiving. That was the original movie. And what Eli Roth did was like, okay, I made the remake of that movie. So, like, everyone beloved, like, the 80s version of that. So let me do the 2000s modern-day remake of Thanksgiving. And he totally did. And it's so well done. And, like, everything that I wanted to happen, happened. I think I said it in my longer review, but I remember the Thanksgiving table scene. Like, I felt like I was quoting along with the movie. And, like, I had never seen the movie before, but everything I wanted John Carver to say, he was saying it. And it felt like one of those moments, like, when you watch a movie, like, example, like, I haven't seen Forrest Gump since I was a kid, like 15, 20 years ago. But when I put it in, it's like, I remember the lines. I remember every statement. I remember all the quotes. So when that happened in Thanksgiving, I'm like, whoa, this is so fucking weird, because I was like, everything in Thanksgiving, like you could do for a Thanksgiving horror movie, they did it. And it was so well done and so creative, and there was some silly shit that they did in it. Like there's one part where John Carver's like running down the hallway doing a silly run, and I love that. The part when he feeds the cat, perfect. And all the setup, how the girl said, yeah, I used to shoot the blunderbuss, and she had the little bracelet, little keepsake thing, and that has to come in at the end, and then the big giant inflatable thing, because they're at the parade shed and they blow it up and he gets on fire. I'm like, this movie is so perfect. And I thought it was so fucking cool at the part when she realizes who he is, and then he does like the slow turnaround and he looks at his shoes and he says, I almost got you, and if I just got you, and she turns the tables on him and has like the live stream. It's like, oh fuck, this movie is so fucking cool. Like Thanksgiving, I don't want to call it Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is so fucking cool. Oh my god, like I love that movie so much. And like immediately when it was over, I'm like, I want a sequel. It's got to be called Thanksgiving Seconds. Seconds, and it's just like, oh, it's perfect. I love Thanksgiving. I keep calling it that, but like, dude, that movie was awesome, fucking awesome. Yeah, it came out. I think recently, Captain Iron Dog on Blu-ray. It came out just last Tuesday. I just picked it up yesterday on Blu-ray. I only watched it because it was really the Grindhouse movies, and actually surprised by Thanksgiving. Dude, Grindhouse is so... I wanted to rewatch Grindhouse the other day. I was like, oh my god, I want to rewatch Grindhouse. I hope Dark Universe doesn't have a simulator, but instead we have a Dark Ride. Oh, that would be nice. That would be cool. Sexiest Man of the Year, John Cava. Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys can see him. I have my own John Cava right here. John Cava with his axe. Oops. Oh. I guess that's a sign to show you, instead of just pointing him out. So at my theater, they had these posters where you can cut out and make your own John Cava. So that's what I did. I cut him out, put him on some cardboard so he had something stiff, and then, John Cava for my background. Because I fucking love Thanksgiving, and I'm down for the sequel. Hopefully I can reconnect them again. If not, I'll just put him back. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! He's there. But yeah, I love Thanksgiving. That movie's so fucking rad. It's perfect. Perfect. Like, no notes. I know there's some people who are like, oh, he got soft because there was the part when, it's supposed to be through the trampoline to the knife. But I'm like, nah, it's fine. It's fine. The movie does so many other better things. It's fine. Okay, so number 3 on my list is Godzilla Minus One. Dude, Godzilla Minus One came out of fucking nowhere. I remember being so excited. I'm like, oh my god, we gotta go see Godzilla Minus One. It's only going to be in the theater for a week. We gotta catch it while it's still here. So we go see it. I'm a fucking mess. I cried so many times during that movie, and it's so perfect. It's about like survivor's guilt, and it's like the other side of the coin of Oppenheimer, where it's like you see what happened to Japan, where they have to build up from nothing, from the rubble. And another aspect that I'm sure is true, but I never knew about, where they had to go on wooden boats and deactivate all the sea mines, because I'm like, of course the whole ocean would be covered in sea mines, and of course they'd have to use wooden boats, because I'm sure that happened in real life. And it's like a little thing that they threw in there, and I love, like, I can't believe it's never been done before. No, it has been done before, but no one will admit it. But like in Godzilla 1998, when Godzilla's in the water and he's coming after the fishing guy on the dock, it has been done before, but not as cool as they did in Godzilla Minus One. Because I think they saw that and like, we could do it better. Because it's so cool to see like the fucking, it's almost like Peter Pan, the crocodile, following the fishing boat. Oh my god, it's so cool. It's like Jaws meets Godzilla meets like Peter Pan. We're like, oh my god, we gotta stop this fucking giant monster that's coming after us. It's so cool. And then it's honestly, it's not even that like of a big leap of a movie. It's just a well-made, entertaining movie. You know what I mean? Like, there's some realistic aspects, there's some great drama in it, but at the end of the day, it's not that much different than Independence Day, where it's just like a, an audience pleaser, where it's like, yes, we're going to take down the fucking Godzilla monster. He's a menace. He's killed so many people. It's devastating. We got to stop him. And it's just, oh my God, it's just an inspirational movie where he gets like the team back together, you know, just to get that forgiveness, to get that weight off his chest. It's almost like him trying to get over his survivor's guilt, to take it. Like, if he could beat this fucking monster, this Godzilla, that'll be over, and he'll learn to live and not feel guilty for living. And it's just like, oh, it's so fucking good. I saw it twice. I saw it the first time during that week, and they're like, we're going to extend it in a couple more days. And during that couple more days, they added it to RPX. Oh, not RPX. It was 4DX. So it was the first time doing 4DX. My mom wanted to do 4DX, so we sat in the chair, and it's like rocking you, and it's like shooting water at you and smoke, and like whenever you fire a gun, they shoot lights or whatever. And it's funny because like the bomb's going off, the girlfriend's getting blown away, and I'm in tears like meanwhile my chair's like shaking me, spraying smoke in my face, and like I'm crying my eyes out. But yeah, dude, Godzilla Minus One was the movie that could. And I'm so glad, like, it finally had its last week on Thursday, where it's like, we're finally taking it out of theaters. But it was only supposed to be in there for a week, and then it'll stay for like 2 months. And not only that, but it's nominated for a goddamn Oscar, which is fantastic. I kind of wish it was nominated for Best Picture. It deserves the Best Picture nomination, but, you know, at least it got the CGI nomination, and that ain't too bad. But yeah, I thought Godzilla Minus One was amazing. Let's go to a comment, make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see. Jawzillas. Yes. Okay, so number 2 on my list is Oppenheimer's. What to say what hasn't already been said? It's just a goddamn oiled machine, this Oppenheimer movie. The other day my mom came here to watch Little Mermaid because, you know, Jacob DreamWorks. I don't know if you're ever going to watch this or not, but Jacob DreamWorks. My mom keeps seeing you come up on the comments saying Little Mermaid, Little Mermaid. She wanted to watch Little Mermaid. So she came over and watched Little Mermaid. So after Little Mermaid was over, I didn't know what to put on. So just for background noise, you know, I put on Oppenheimer. And it's so amazing just to see it without sound, to see how quick the movie goes. And a little bit of all the actors in it. It's so fantastic. Robert Downey Jr. It's like no competition. He's got the best supporting actor because like it's so refreshing to see him in like a real movie, and it's so refreshing to see him have to be restrained. He can't rely on his, you know, his little quirks and all his little, you know, crutches he's developed over the last, you know, 30 years of his career, 50 years of his career, however long he's been acting. But like he had to rely on being a little bit more serious than he has before, and it's such a fantastic performance. It's his Salieri. It is so cool. Again, with Cillian Murphy, with him as Oppenheimer, he just disappears into the role. You don't even see Cillian, you just see Oppenheimer. Florence Pugh, holy shit, she's great in it. I remember seeing the other day on Twitter, someone's like, man, if I was Oppenheimer, I'd probably kill myself if I lost her. I'd be like, and I was like, he did try to kill himself in the movie. Did you not understand? I don't think that person understood, how many times, however, they watched the movie. They didn't understand that Oppenheimer did try to kill himself after losing her. He tried to freeze himself in the fucking woods and his wife found him. I was like, how did you not get that? I don't understand. What do you think he was doing cold in the woods? I don't know. But anyway, great movie. Fantastic movie. A rewatchable movie. I love it. And it's funny, another thing recently, because I've been rewatching Talkville, or catching up with Talkville, because I wanted them to finish up season 3 before I watched it. So I'm watching Talkville, and it was funny to hear Michael Rosenbaum saying, like, Oppenheimer's good, not great. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? It is so good, because it's like, the movie is like working in all cylinders. It's got like every role is filled with a character actor, and it's for a purpose. It's to help the audience remember what character is who, because the movie goes at such a fast pace. You need to remember who these characters are, and it's so great that the characters are played by character actors that we all recognize and we all love. Gary Oldman, Bernard from the Santa Claus. God, what's the name? It's like David Hurwitz or whatever the hell. The guy from Numbers, he's in it, and then you got the guy from Army of the Dead as Heisenberg. and you got Josh Hartnett in it, and you got the guy from Halloween, the little kid, his brother Frank Oppenheimer. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It is so good. Matt Damon, Matt Damon, I realize is a great actor. I realized this only recently because I think last year I rewatched Interstellar, and he is such a piece of shit coward in that movie. And I'm like, I don't think there's ever been an actor who can perfectly play like the cool as fuck like military general like an Oppenheimer, and then play the most pathetic villainous character ever in Interstellar, and then be like a great family man in other movies, and then be a cool swindler and a cool spy. Like, he's a good actor. I've realized this, like, I've had blinders on. I'm like, no, it's just Matt Damon. He doesn't change, but like, he does, and he's so good. The fuck? Like, I don't think there's a good actor like that who could easily pull those things off, or he could be like the most, like, seriously, in Interstellar, he is like the biggest piece of shit. Oh my and it's so different between the two roles of him and Oppenheimer in that, and like him and Oppenheimer are so great. It's the most important fucking thing on the planet. And then one of my favorite characters in this movie. Oh my god, I stuttered. One of my favorite characters in this movie is Casey Affleck as Pash, as Colonel Pash. Like, that is like the most creepiest fucking one scene wonder character I've ever seen in a movie. Like, back in the day, that'd probably be like Gary Oldman, but like, it's so weird to know that like Casey Affleck can just like go in there and all they have to do is like play like this little creepy theme. And it's almost like his little horror theme, like the strings like, and it's like Colonel Pash, and you just know that this man is like pure evil. It's even hinted at that he probably killed Florence Pugh, because in that 1 second scene, like, you see this hand with the glove holding her head underwater, and then I think in one of the flashback scenes you see his point of view watching Oppenheimer go to the hotel room, so it's sort of implied that he killed her. And like, you really have to be paying attention to, because the movie keeps moving, and like each scene is like 2 seconds, and it's like, holy fuck. But yeah, like, every role is like jam-packed in this movie. Fantastic. Oppenheimer's so flippin' cool. I'm sure everyone's seen it like 3-4 times at this point, but like, yeah, I love it. Damon and RDJ giving the best performances of the past decade, plus of their filmography, for sure. Like, honestly, like, Damon, like, it's kind of underrated because the whole movie's so fucking stacked. But like, Damon in Oppenheimer is really good, and he's like really important to the movie. Oh my gosh. Let's see what the other one is. Dainty Han. Holy fuck. The Keanu guy. I call him Keanu because no matter what movie, and he sounds like Keanu. So he's like in this movie too. God, who else is in this? James Remar. Holy fuck, I got to talk about James Remar. Again, one of my other favorite moments of Oppenheimer is when James Remar is on screen. So he has one scene. And I remember sitting in the theater watching his scene. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, it took me out of the movie because it was like watching like a real actor. I don't even know how to say that. Like, I don't even know how to really fully explain it. But it was like saying, "Holy shit!" Like, "Oh my god, he's here." It's almost like seeing like a like a cool rock star, like a Bob Seger or like a Bruce Springsteen, and you know, they show up at an event, but like, "Oh my god, they're gonna fucking play." So like, when I saw James Remar like show up on screen, I'm like, "Oh my god, he's gonna fucking act." And it's just like watching like this old school actor just like play on like his music, and it's just like, oh fuck, that's so cool. And not only that, but like his one, like, the way he performs is like, it's too real. It's too real, and it's so funny to understand that he actually did research for his character, and he met up with like Nolan and said, "Hey, like, I want to like change this line or say it like this. Can I do that?" Like, yeah. So like, it was his line when he said like, "Oh yeah, I took one of the names off the list, and it's because we honeymooned there." And I was like, holy fuck. Like, step back. Like, you're watching a great actor at play. Like, oh my god. It's like watching like Gregory Peck or some shit. Like a Robert De Niro or Al Pacino. Like, holy shit, they're going to come to act. Like, oh my god. So just seeing James Remar back on screen for that one part. Like, oh yeah, we got Kyoto. We took that off the list. It's like, oh fuck, that's so good. That's so good. And then I think one of my favorite parts of the movie, because me and my mom kept cracking up. I think I think I lost count. I think we've seen it 3 times in the theater, but every time it was on screen is like when they moved the flower pot on the table. That is so fucking good, because that's like old school Spielberg shit. Like I'll say that. Like I think Christopher Nolan was like, we can't just have a table scene. We got to have a scene that makes it like nerve wracking about what's going on. Like we have to up the nerves because there's a lot of nerves on this scene because they're learning about how the other Russians are like they're activating a bomb, and they're all like high tension. Like what do we do next? And the moving of the fucking flower pot is such a great thing, and that's like totally like a Spielberg thing, I think, because like Spielberg is so great on staging and like showing like the power moves of the table. So like seeing that is just like a good piece of direction because it gets moved so often to the final like the breaking point where they move it off, and then like Oppenheimer has like the view because he sees like the fucking ripples on the map. Oh my god, it's so good. I love that fucking movie so good. Oppenheimer is so good, guys. It's so good, and it's not just because of the acting, it's because of the direction as well. And I think with Nolan, he's always fucking with time. Like he has this vision, and I find it so funny, but he's really trying to figure out like, I want to do like fucking time shit, but I don't know how to do it. And it's like he did it with like Memento, so like the Memento is like the hairpin where it's like the beginning is the end, and like you have to get to the beginning of the movie because it's the end of the movie, and it's like, oh fuck. And then he's doing it with like Inception where it's like, okay, there's like 3 timelines going on at the same time. And then he did it with like Tenet where it's like 2 things are going backwards and going forward. And then what's the other movie he did? Oh god, Interstellar, where it's like all about like time travel, and like you're the same age as your kid and your kid like hates you, and it's like, oh fuck, because like you're missing your life. And then the other time-wimey movie was Dunkirk, where it's like this takes place over an hour, this takes place over like 5 minutes or whatever, and it's like he's fucking with time, like he's trying to figure it out. And I feel like he finally nailed it with Oppenheimer, but I almost wondered what the hell is he gonna do next, because he's still, I'm sure he's still trying to figure it out. He's like I have this vision, but I don't know how to get it out of my head. It's so funny too because I think he even had like a problem with this because he started writing the script in like first person, like he was Oppenheimer. I was like, oh my god, he's really trying to figure out this time shit, like of what the past and the future, and like they like intertwine, like they meet up right at the point of the movie of after the bomb goes off. It's like boom, they fucking line up, and it's like it's so cool. I don't even know if this is making sense, but I think people understand what I'm talking about when it's like, this movie, because like the beginning it's like the past, future, and then it like ranks up, and then it starts to catch up, like, it's so cool. So fucking cool. Let's go to comments. Josh Hartnett really knocked it. Yes, Josh Hartnett was so fucking cool to see again. I was like, oh, Josh Hartnett, he needs to be in more movies. Gary Oldman's scene is one of the best scenes. Oh yeah, don't let that crybaby back in you. Dude, fucking awesome. Gary Oldman. And I like that. Like, he's like, hey, you want to be in my movie? And Gary Oldman's like, yeah, sure, I'll be in your movie. And he does like a day's work. And it's so fucking awesome. And like, it's like I was hearing the interview. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's this interview with Gary Oldman recently where he's like, yeah, I didn't know. And it's like one of those things where it's like you're just jumping onto a moving train because the train's already been moving. They've already been filming, and you're just like jumping on. And you hope you're as good, if not better than what the train has been doing for his little role in that movie. And it's so cool. So fucking cool. I love Nolan's work, but Oppie is by far his best film. Dude, it really is. It really is. Because I always thought he was like, he's okay. He's alright. He's fine. But after watching Oppenheimer, I'm like, oh fuck, son. It was like, it was finally he reached that next step. Because I feel like Tenet was like, you're stuck in a rut. Like, you're going down, but you went back to safety. And then like he finally went like, boom, there you go. He's on to the next level. So it's like, I want to see what he does next, because like after like, yeah, Dark Knight's cool, Interstellar's awesome, Dunkirk's great, and like Tenet, all right, and then it's like, there you go. Oppenheimer, it's like he stumbled, like he's running, he kind of stumbled, he had to catch his breath, came back with Oppenheimer, and I thought that was cool. So yeah, I have respect for him again after Oppenheimer, because Oppenheimer is like one of those things where it's like, fuck, that's great. From hating at first watch, second favorite film of the year, your Oppenheimer saga. Look, honestly, there was so much different factors that were coming in. That's why I'm like, I have to see it again. And now I think I've seen it at least 5 times, maybe 6. I love that movie. 3 times in the theater, and I think like 2 or 3 more times on DVD and Blu-ray, 4K. All right, so we reached number 1 on my list. Hang on, one more comment. Tenant's good, but yeah, it's a safe, and he's just playing the hits. Yeah, exactly. He's just playing the safe hits. Like it's like a cool movie that he wanted to do, but it's all the safe hits. It's like the best of. It's almost like he had like an original album every year, and then Tenet came out, and it was just like, oh shit, I've heard this music before. You know, it's just like remastered hits. It's exactly what it is. So we've come to number 1. And I think people know what number 1 is because it's all over my fucking background. It's there. It's there. It's here. It's there. It is Scream 6. Oh my fucking god. It's hard to believe that Scream 6 only came out last year. But goddamn, Scream 6 came out last year, and it is like one of the fucking coolest Scream movies. Oh my fucking god. And it's so funny. Like, it's number 1 on my list of the year. But of, like, I don't want spoilers for whenever I do the Scream ranking. But I think it's, like, number 2 on my Scream ranking. But, like, dude, I fucking love Scream 6. Oh my god. I don't even know where to start. I think it's... I guess I could start with one of the funny stories when it came out. So I remember watching it and thinking it was like the best movie I've ever seen in my whole life, just like I thought with Argyle. But anyway, I'm like, oh my god, Scream 6 is like the best movie I've ever seen. And I remember my friend saying, oh, I'm going to see Scream 6. Will it make sense if I haven't seen the others? And I was like, I have no fucking idea, because like, to me, Scream 6 was almost like the perfect... It was the maestro of Scream movies, because it was like a reference to every fucking entry to the movie while being its own thing. It was so fucking cool. I liked it was like the perfect next step of the Sam Carpenter and Tara Carpenter story, because like that Scream 5, it's good, but like it's like the baby step. It's like, yep, okay, you're doing the thing, you're doing like the homage or whatever, but like Scream 6 is so fucking cool. Like, I can't, like, that opening scene with Samara Weaving, and then like she's the Drew Barrymore killer, and then there's something a little bit off. It's not Ghostface. So he goes back, and then you see, oh, this is the real Ghostface calling. And it's so cool, because like, warmer, you're getting cold, warmer. And then the fucking Detective Bailey comes out with the knife, and he's like, who gives a fuck about movies? That's like the perfect Ghostface line I've ever heard. Like, who gives a fuck about movies? That's so awesome. And then, like, of course, it's like, I'm smart with movies. I've basically had it figured out, because I'm like, okay, if the wallet is at the crime scene, who could get it to the crime scene? Okay, so if the girl in the apartment has her dad as the detective, okay, so it's the daughter and the detective are in on it, because that's the only way where Sam Carpenter's ID could get to that apartment. So I was like, okay, I know it's them two. I know it's definitely the girl and the cop, but I didn't know who the third person was. But I had that all figured out within that first scene, but I was like, I don't fucking care. I'm having fun. So, like, there's that, and then there's, like, the bodega scene, and that was so fucking cool, because, like, Ghostface has never used a gun, and it's like the fucking Jurassic Park scene where they're hiding through the bodega trying to sneak down the aisles, and like there's glass on the floor, and fucking Ghostface blew off the face of the cashier, the store owner, and he's like shooting shit up. It's so cool. Again, Detective Bailey, because there's no fucking way where the daughter and son could be at the bar, the store. Fucking Detective Bailey's awesome. And then fucking Kittredge from Mission Impossible's in the movie. He gets stabbed in the nose. That's another fun fact in the movie, where someone gets stabbed in the eye. That's Detective Bailey, and then the person gets stabbed in the nose, and the son gets stabbed in the mouth. I don't think that's ever happened in the Scream movie, but like, eye, nose, mouth, it's all there. It's awesome. So, like, oh yeah, and I like the ladder scene. the ladder scene when the girlfriend has to climb her out, and it's so sad because I don't want the girlfriend to die, and it's like Ghostface is like fucking them up and like shakes them off. It's so cool. What else scene did I like? I really like Detective Bailey, and the thing that really sold it to me was the dramatic ending, because it takes place in the shrine of Ghostface. All the costumes are there from the movie. All the the props and references are from the movie, and it's like a goddamn opera, like a soap opera. And he's on stage and he's giving like this big speech and how like he did everything to build this collection for his son, and I'm like, look at exactly, I understand. So it's like he's like, I did this for my son, and you have no idea what it's like to lose your favorite first son, and it's amazing, blah blah blah. And I'm like, this is fucking awesome. And it's like, it's almost like, I think, far off example, but it's like, you need to have the soap opera in these ongoing franchises. Example, like in Star Wars, they fucking take the soap opera out. It's all just action and bullshit. They got rid of the soap opera. And like, you need that soap opera to fucking make it work, and they really did that with Scream 6, because it's like the ongoing legacy of the series. Not only is it like the legacy of the original trilogy because she's the daughter of Billy, like you're like bringing in the legacy of this kid who just got introduced in the last movie, and it's like, oh my god, of course the third movie has to be like the mother or some shit, or like the super fans of Richie, like you have to conclude that story. But sadly I don't think they will, because they're fucking idiots. But anyway, like, it's so fucking cool. But yeah, that's why, like, when I went to see Dermot Mulroney, I was like, this, like, you're like my favorite character ever, because he was so devoted to fucking taking down Samantha Carpenter. And it's so funny at the end where he's like, you need to put on the mask, and she's like, I'm not gonna fucking put on the mask. Oh my god. And then oh yeah, honorable mention, the Courtney Cox apartment scene, that was fucking rad as well, when she's fighting Ghostface and he does like the little oh dude, that was so cool. But like, I love that whole ending where it's just like him giving this huge speech, and then like Samantha Carpenter's like, you're a fucking idiot, and like it's almost like she's like Rorschach, like, you're not locked in here with me. Oh, I'm not locked in here with you, you're locked in here with me, because she's fucking crazy, her and her sister. And then they fucking like kill the brother with the TV and like stab the shit out of him, and they shoot the sister in the head. And then at the end, like, they're charging after each other with the knife and the gun, and they fall over, and then she fucking like puts on her father's outfit and is like hounding Detective Bailey, and she just like, takes him out in like the worst way possible, and it kills him. And then like that cool shot, there's this cool shot in Scream 6 where it's Richie's film being projected, and you just see Samantha and Tara walk out of the screen, and it's like, oh fuck, that's like the coolest visual ever, because they're walking out of the movie screen because they won the day. And it's like, oh, that's so fucking cool. It's like, instead of like walking into the sunset, they're walking out of the movie, like, we're done. And it's almost like a good conclusion. Like, you don't even need a Scream 7, because that's almost like a great conclusion. They're walking off the screen, they're done, it's behind them. And even at the end, when she has her father's mask in her hand, she like throws it down and walks off with her sister, because like she finally was able to like let the past go. Like, she was able to let go of her sister, and she's walked off the screen, and she put her father's mask down. It is so good. I fucking love Scream 6, guys. Oh my god. Like, I know I sound like I'm probably like a crazy person just talking about how many things I love about this movie, but like, Scream 6 is so fucking cool. Like, I'm so excited that she's doing Comic Cons now. I hope to get to see her. I honestly do. I hope she goes to either like the horror Nightmare at the Falls or Fan Expo, or maybe Steel City Con in like November. I'm not ready for an April Steel City Con, because they have some good guests, but like, I'm not ready. I'm just not ready. But like, dude, like, I want to see her so bad, and it'd be so cool if like Dermot Mulroney comes back, because like, now that T. Hamill gave me that Scream 6 poster, it's like I could have him sign that, and then probably have her sign that. But yeah, it's just, I love Scream 6, and it's bad that what happened with Scream 7, but like, Scream 6 is a good conclusion as well. So there's that. Hang on, let's go to the comments. Let's see. Christian Kim, Scream 6, baby! Yes! Scream 6 was great. Hell yes. Fucking awesome. It's a Scream, baby! Yep, yep. Bradley Cooper's will be the next Ghostface. Oh god, I wish. Dude, that'd be so fucking rad. I only saw 1-5 before 6. I could follow it just fine. Okay, that's good, but like, there's some good Easter eggs throughout the whole fucking movie. Like, I don't know, like, you know. Because like, my friend had no idea. She had never seen any of them. She was only going to jump into 6, and I was like, oh my god. But like, you need some context. So you had more context than she did. You saw 2 of the 6 movies. Like, you need some context. She had 0 context. But yeah, Ghostface for Jodie Foster. Oh, bruh. I started to become a fan of Scream last year, leading up to Scream 6. I watched all the Scream movies for the first time and really got excited for Scream 6. The movie didn't disappoint. Dude, it is like top tier. It is so fucking awesome. And I was going to say it's a great time to be a Scream fan, but not so much now. But like, yeah, it was so cool. Great stream. Happy I was able to suggest it. Yep, you're good. You're good. I think you know as it's starting to wind down. But yeah, just follow-up thoughts of Scream 6. It's just, it was really fucking good. And it beat Oppenheimer for me because I'm pretty sure. It's so fun. I think I've watched Oppenheimer more than Scream. But like, Scream is like right here, and it's my fucking background. It's like here. I love Scream. Scream is fucking awesome. And it's really a great entry of the series because it's like, it's the fucking soap opera of everything. Everything is led to that. Oh. Yeah. Man, they fucked up so bad. They can't do a 7, but like 6 is a good conclusion too. So, I don't know. I guess I just have to take it. So, with that being said, I don't think I have any other things to say about my top 10. So, just a recap for those who, just jumping in. Number 10 was Holdovers. Number 9, Saw 10. Number 8, Barbie. Number 7, It's a Wonderful Knife. Number 6, Poor Things. Number 5, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Number 4, Thanksgiving. Number 3, Godzilla Minus 1. Number 2, Oppenheimer. And number 1, Scream 6. Love Scream 6. Love Scream 6. It's incredible how much I love Scream 6. Like, I love Scream 6. Scream is who I am. It's my personality. It kind of is. But like, I love everything though. It's like I love Scream. I love Jaws. I love Ghostbusters. Speaking of which, I'm an idiot. I'm excited about the new Ghostbusters movie. I'm an idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I feel like Philip Seymour Hoffman, R.I.P. He's been gone for 10 years. But like, oh man, I'm a fucking idiot. I want to see the new Ghostbusters. Oh, and the other thing I want to say, because this episode is around that time, R.I.P. Carl Weathers. That really hit me emotionally. I didn't expect it to, because I really thought he'd outlive me, because I have so many health issues. It's like, I thought I'd be fucking gone before him, but like, he died, and like, it really got me, because I was like, wow, Apollo Creed, a godlike figure in like film history, passed away. And like, he's not only from that, but he's from Predator, Happy Gilmore, Star Wars. Like, he has a foot in everything that everyone loves, and it was so heartwarming to see everyone mourn over him and have respect for him, because he had so much work and he affected everyone's lives. Even like Happy Gilmore, when you need a laugh, he was there. When you wanted some motivation, he was in the Rocky films. When you wanted to have a good time with your kids nowadays, he was there with Star Wars. He was everything. He was all over the map, and like, he made an impact, and his work will last forever. He's utterly fantastic. But yeah, R.I.P. Carl Weathers. All right. So I think with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for watching my top 10 movies. I'll be back with an unboxing next week. I got a couple things that I've ordered that I will unbox. So thank you guys. And this has been really great. This has really, really been great. But yeah, thank you guys. And I'll see you next week.